Hey, Julia Barzyk here with Wise Investigator. Let's get started with our 9 months out on the Countdown to Career video training. If you have not seen the 11 months out video, please go back and watch that, and we'll get right into 9 months. So at 9 months out, we are going to focus on identifying the resources at your institution or through your institution that can help you with the process of preparing this career proposal. Now, this is something where what is available to you is going to vary greatly depending on what institution you're at. And I'm going to cover today all of the different categories of help that you can get so that you can ask about each one of those and realize that some things may be available to you, some things may not be. But what I want to communicate here are all the different types of help that you can get, because any of it is valuable, and you're going to want to think ahead so that you can get this help, because it can be time sensitive in terms of getting on a list as someone who's interested in getting this kind of support if it's limited, which it very well can be. So I'm going to go into all the different types of support that you can get, but for everything we want to think about these 3 questions. What are the deadlines for requesting that support? It's very often the case that there is some help that you can get, but you may need to put your name in early, even in some cases quite early, to get on the list or in the queue of faculty members who would like to get this support for that calendar year. Much support could be available within your institution, and that would be the first place to look. You do also want to ask if you are able to have access to any funds to hire these services from outside consultants or outside editors, outside graphics people, which we'll talk about again, those categories. Some services can be quite expensive, and some could be not very expensive, maybe even just a few $100s to have something like a graphics made. Okay, so you want to think broadly in terms of the type of support you can get, and not just think, oh, well, I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to pay for this, so I guess I can't hire anything out, right? There can be people that you could hire yourself, and you want to find out about what, of course, first is available within your institution, and then you could look at how you could engage someone outside of your institution, and of course, first, what kind of funds may be available for you to cover that expense. Leading into the next question, are you allowed to use startup or other funds for these services? So these are questions, again, regarding the deadlines, what kind of support there is besides your own, say, startup funds, or what other types of funds may be available for this type of help. So the people you want to ask are, one, your department chair or other leaders in your school, your college, dean, anyone in the Office of Research, and colleagues at your institution who have won the career award. Those would be excellent people to ask first, and if you don't know of anyone, to ask within your own institution that's won the career award that you're comfortable approaching. Another colleague at another institution who's won the career award, you may want to ask that person how they handled it in terms of any support that they got. It's always good to ask questions, so ask any and all of these people. Okay, so let's move into what the resources may be. One, there may be resources for proposal preparation, and this would be someone who can help you with the broader process of preparing for your proposal and the proposal package, I should say, and really strategizing on how to put that together. So this could be someone at your institution, even if your institution does not generally have a lot of support for proposal preparation for single PI type awards. It is possible that they'll have someone dedicated for career, because career, as you know, obviously is a prestigious award. That is something that the institutions really like to highlight when they win a career awards or multiple career awards. That's important to them. So they may have somebody on staff, or even be able to hire someone who can help specifically with a career award. So that's the highest level type of service that you could get, or help you could get, would be someone who's going to help you prepare your entire proposal package and is going to work with you, a bit longer term, maybe over the course of a couple months, to get this in shape to where it could be. Now, what I'm providing for you here is going to walk you through the entire process, but nothing that I could put on a YouTube video series is going to be the same as having one-on-one dedicated support for you. So if you can get that support, get it. Just there's nothing more to say about that. Get support in the proposal preparation if you can. Now, another service that could be available to you would be editing. Now, when we think about editing, we want to think about the different types of editing. There's generally 3 types. So that would be developmental editing, then next what we might call editing to move into like formatting, and then copy editing. So with developmental editing, that's going to be something that's going to be, one step down from something like a proposal preparation service or a proposal, a consultant that's going to work with you on the proposal. Developmental editing would be something that could approach that, but it's going to be focused, again, of course, on editing, but you could expect to receive a lot of comments and questions within the document and often go back and forth with the editor a number of times, because that person is going to be looking to understand how the entire document comes together and asking you questions about, the order that you're presenting the material, pointing out areas that are unclear, suggesting rewriting certain parts of it, possibly helping you rewrite substantial sections of the document if needed. Editing is going to be something that, and I'm going to lump this with formatting, that's a step down from that in terms of the level of support or the intensity of support that you're getting, where it's going to be generally assumed that your content, your message, the way you lay things out is okay, or they're not going to give you too much comments on that, but they will give you good suggestions and corrections and revisions for things like grammar, how sentences flow together. But this generally is not going to be performed by someone who has subject matter expertise, nor would they be responsible for helping you tell your story broadly or frame the question appropriately. When you get this type of service, you're going to be confident if you get good quality help, that you're going to have no grammatical errors and sentences that flow and read well. And this is also a valuable service. And then the last type of editing would be something called copy editing or proofreading. And this is where someone is going to help you by being that extra set of eyes that is going to look and make sure that you're using the same conventions throughout in terms of how you're writing out your representing your units or writing out your acronyms and correcting maybe minor grammatical errors that you've just overlooked, right, as a typo. I guess I should say like a typo type of errors that can come into all of our work, and that just really cleans it up and makes it look very polished. So all of these levels of editing are worth getting help with, if possible. I advocate for getting as much help as you possibly can. So if you can get developmental editing, that's great. If you can get the editing formatting, which I'll also say here that something like formatting BioSketch. Now, I understand that there's actually a standardized process that's coming online for that for NSF, but let's just even take, for example, thinking more broadly about any kind of other submissions where you might need to have a CV, something where you're responsible for the formatting on that. An editor could help you put that together if that editor also works in formatting, which most of them would do that kind of minor formatting, and help you get that CV or another document, even some of your extra documents that you may be responsible for formatting on your own, into a really good looking shape that will save you a few hours. Now, it's not that you can't format your own CV or your own, facilities document. But by getting help with these things, one, it'll probably come out looking a little bit better when you have somebody who has that expertise doing it, and it will save you time. And this is the important thing, is to make sure that you're putting your effort into the parts that only you can really perform, like coming up with your ideas and really communicating your research ideas, and take a little bit of the load off of you with some of these other help from some of these other services. So again, I would suggest that you get any type of help that you can with editing. You also can ask about boilerplates and templates for any of the ancillary documents that are required as part of the career package. And now would be a good time to start gathering those, because what can often happen is PIs forget, or don't feel like they have the time, or they don't want to worry about those things until they're approaching the deadline, and then needing to gather all of these things at the last minute can create more stress, and it can also cause you to not have the time to review and revise these documents. Or if you're busy doing that, again, it can take away from a final revision of the project description and things like that. So this would be a good time to ask for what any boilerplates or templates for any parts of the proposal package that you're going to need. Ask for those now, so that you can get them into your career folder, start working with them, and have them ready when you go into really, sink your teeth into writing the proposal. So figures and graphics is another area that you can ask for help on. It can be very useful in some cases. You'll have to determine if this makes sense for you, but to have a summary graphic that provides a graphical representation of the research that you're proposing. Now, this is something that can be kind of a space saver in some cases, to show something in that format, so you don't have to write it out in words so much. Most likely you are going to write that out in words, but also by having your ideas in some kind of graphical representation, you're providing another way for the reader to understand what you're proposing with your research. And of course, you may have many more figures beyond that. But this is the kind of thing that takes a lot of time, especially if you're building something up from scratch. And there is very good help available for you here. So ask if you can get help with your figures or your graphics through your institution. I spoke with a PI not that long ago who has an excellent person on staff at their institution to help with this kind of thing. But you have to put your name in early and get on the list, because this person can't help everybody that wants the help. But by getting in the queue, you're able to ensure that you get this help when you need it. And lastly, I would learn about what kind of photography or videography resources are available to you. You may have photos of some of your outreach activities. I'm not sure that you would put a video, would be associated with the career proposal anywhere, as far as the way I'm thinking about it. But some of the people who take the photographs also do videos, and some of them are very, very talented. Actually, I think probably most of them are. So if you have someone like this at your institution who could take some photos of you performing your outreach activities, and I put video here too, because if they are taking photos, they may as well take a video just for you to have that, even if you're not using that in the career proposal. And again, these can be very talented people that you could have access to, but you may need to get in line to get that kind of help. And these photos may be something that you'd want to use in your proposal. So I'm going to wrap up here with the encouragement with encouraging you to make the most of the resources at your institution. And you will have to ask around to see what kind of help is available, because it's not standardized. But you will be grateful for any and all help that you get that is going to help you get a higher quality product, and it's going to save you time. Say anything that will save you time is worth doing. anything that will get you a higher quality product, or maybe not anything, but most things that will help you get a higher quality product are worth doing. And using the resources at your institution are going to help you do both of those things. So reach out, again, ask colleagues, ask the leadership in your department, your school, your college, ask again the colleagues at your institution, as well as those outside of your institution as a second tier of people to ask, and start lining up the help that you need, because some of it, especially things like getting help with figures, can actually be very, very cost effective. And you could find that spending just a few $100s could save you hours and hours of time. And if you're not like me and you're not particularly strong, to put it mildly, at graphics, then you will get a much, much better quality product than you could make on your own. That would be the case for some of you.